quick thoughts. I don't know why I find the Judy Greer Cheryl voice from Archer so fucking attractive, but it probably doesn't bode well for me psychologically. In a weird turn of nostalgia, at a thrift store, I located a piece of furniture that I had when I was, I would say, probably 13 to 18. That was a TV stand with a rollback. Now, it's an utter piece of shit, just composite fiberboard, barely held together with some casters on the bottom. But it's something that my grandmother left to the family when she passed away when I was younger. That was a central piece of furniture in my room for a great portion of my youth. I ultimately have no idea what happened to it, but I saw the exact same thing in a thrift store. Carbon copy, absolutely flawless. For just a minute, because it was cheap, I was tempted to purchase it when I realized that it wasn't really suitable for anything I had in my home, having completely and utterly outlived its usefulness. I found this inherently sad, and I really don't know why. Also on the nostalgia front, I recently went into a McDonald's, mainly to use the restroom, but while I was there I also picked up a sweet tea. What I realized after the first few minutes was that I haven't actually walked into a McDonald's for a very long time. On the few times that I have decided to slum it with that capacity of fast food, I generally just go through the drive-thru. When you're actually inside the building, there's this pervasive smell of McDonald's being prepared, which, while not exactly a great smell, I found strangely comforting. I think it's because I worked there for so long that even though I didn't enjoy the job and certainly don't miss it, the stench of McDonald's is sort of the stench of my youth. I recently went to a Fry's electronics store to pick up a few items for myself, as well as a few items from work. Now, if you're not fortunate enough to have a Fry's near you, just know that it's basically a tech nerd Valhalla. It contains all kinds of computers, electronic components, media, entertainment center stuff, the works. Well, one of the things that they do is, firstly, when you leave, they have someone there that checks your receipt and checks your bag, which is frustrating but understandable since the value of a lot of the items in there is pretty high, given how small many of them are. The other thing that's interesting is they have a roving sales staff, which, while probably more helpful than your average Best Buy employee, mainly just hang back unless actually called on. But they will, if you approach them for help, latch onto you with a desire to make a sort of invoice of everything you've bought. So if you just ask, like, hey, where's this USB thing, and you're holding an armful of merchandise, he'll say, hey, can I write that up for you? I don't really know the details, but presumably when they take you to a computer, write down all the stuff you get, write down the paper, they get some kind of credit. I don't know if it's like a, you know, reimbursement or if they're getting a commission or how exactly that works, but they are really passionate about writing this shit up. So I recently went in, the guy helped me find something on the shelf, he wrote up my thing. Side note, the guy looked like my friend Brian's evil twin. He kind of looked like a younger Brian, same facial hair, same complexion, same kind of demeanor, except like a really dismissive asshole. So I don't know if I was peering into a future, you know, version of reality, and this is like Brian from the darkest timeline or the future, but let's hope things work out for him. Anywho. So as I leave, I have everything in my hands that I'm going to buy. I have the printout that the guy gave me. I go to the counter to check out. I hand the thing over. She looks at it and she says, "This is everything?" And I said, "Oh, I stopped on the way to the receipt and got these delicious honey roasted macadamia nuts that were brought to my attention by my friend Patrick. So I blame him for my passion for these, which you generally can't find anywhere, but Fry's has them at the checkout counters. Whatever. Anyway, so I got those. So I put everything. She says, "Is this everything?" With no malicious intent, forethought, I just say, "Oh yeah, everything's on the page except these nuts," and I put them on the counter. I immediately realized what I said and said, "That was awkward, and I apologize," to which she immediately burst out laughing, which was good because it diffused the tension at saying something that sounded really perverse and sexist, and also it's nice to get a laugh from a stranger. I appreciate it when I make my kid or my wife laugh, or when I make people laugh at work, but when you get a laugh off a stranger, when you peel that good chuckle off completely unbidden, that's a special feeling. Anyone that knows me will tell you that I'm very much a creature of habit, but this is occasionally a dual-edged sword. I recently pulled through a drive-thru to get something for lunch while at work, and after saying just a moment at the drive-thru menu, perusing it carefully and deciding what I wanted, I opened my mouth and proceeded to order the exact same thing that I always get, which I might add was completely different from what I intended to purchase. My autopilot just kicked in and got what I always did. Now, just to add insult to injury, after I departed, I realized that not only did I order the wrong thing, but that they fucked up the order I actually did give them. And no, I'm not fortunate enough for them to have fucked it up and given me what I actually wanted. I was saddened this morning when I realized that I probably spent approximately 4 to 5 hours rewiring my entertainment system so that all of my myriad games, consoles, and technology were hooked up at once and could be easily accessed at any time. I then realized that I actually haven't had time, however, to play a game in probably 2 weeks. So my daughter has taken up horse riding lessons. I'm fine with that, and occasionally the horse riding lesson falls on the day that my wife works and I'm home, so I have to take her. Unfortunately, since I have a hard time keeping up with when things occur unless there's a calendar right in front of me, I've taken to using the phrase, "Honey, is there a horse thing this week? Do I have to do a horse thing? Tomorrow's horse day, right?" I didn't think anything of this until I did this in front of other people, where apparently "do a horse thing" is considered a suspect phrase. Few sounds bring dread and anger into my heart like the email notification that goes off on my phone when I receive an email to my work account. It's often not good news. So I think perhaps as an attempt at negative reinforcement, I'm going to take the jingles and slogans from various fast food companies and snack foods and set that as the notification tone for my work email. It can't hurt. I'm a career insomniac, and I frequently have a hard time sleeping at night. When this occurs, I will inevitably give up, grab for my phone or my tablet, and maybe catch up on a little bit of news while I wait for the desire to sleep to come over me. Last night, when that was happening, I noticed that Google had purchased the company Nest for $3.2 billion. I don't know why, but my first reaction to this was, haha, fuck you Apple people. I guess just because of the inherent design aesthetic that Nest has and the fact that it is staffed by several Apple former employees, I just feel like it's a weird dick slap in the face to Apple for Google to get them. Not to mention the advantageous foothold. That's the email sound. I hate that sound. Anyway, we'll give them a foothold in the home automation space. Go Team G. With my daughter's recent taking up of online gaming in the form of Minecraft and frequently speaking to her friends who are outside the neighborhood via Skype, we've gotten her a very good quality headset. What I find amusing about this is that my wife and I can be in this room, which is one wall away from our daughter, yelling at the top of our lungs for her, and she can somehow not hear it, but just moments ago heard the beeping of the microwave that is literally across the house, and then came in here to tell me, "Dad, the microwave is beeping." I smell shenanigans. Sometimes it's fun just to get nostalgic and think about fun memories and fond times, and I'll never forget that one time I logged in and Facebook actually worked. Good times. Hey, this is actually pretty easy. I think I'm gonna like using this.